Hello, everyone, and welcome to our team mashup call. It is Wednesday, September 30th. And so today, I wanted just to also check in with everybody about how their Team Cup or August month is going, but I also wanted to check with everybody with planning out September and really honing in on what your goals are and where your mindsets are. And then also, I also wanted to share, I had a one-on-one with Josh, not a really one-on-one, but it was 1-in-4. I was fifth one-on-one because I am doing his Art of Leading group. And because I signed up early, I was able to get into a free one-on-one with him or a round group call, coaching call with him, or mentoring slash coaching call. So I'm going to share some things that I took out of that with you guys as well. And so it's up to you guys how you want to start. If you want me to start with that, if you want to talk about August, if we want to talk about goals, you guys let me know how you guys want to go with that. What do you think? Anybody? Crickets?
I'll do whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I'd like to hear about your call with Josh. So if you want to,
all right. So why don't I start?
You want to go through August Team Cup and then do September?
Well, why don't we do? Okay, so why don't I start with that? So basically, what he had us do is introduce ourselves and basically talk about, like, you were supposed to come ready with questions. I didn't have questions. I kind of just went with it. And what I ended up doing was I went with the fact that I told him, which was true, I have now 2 coaches underneath me, but I also find that with this as part of Team Mashup that I'm kind of leading this, so to speak, with all of you guys as we're leading it together, but I'm leading it. So I was telling him about that. And I said, one of I think the biggest struggles that I'm having, but then I know my coaches are having, and I assume you guys as well, is how to expand our networks. And so what he did is he, without obviously knowing the ins and outs about myself and our teams, is he touched upon Facebook, which is the things that we know with Facebook. After we've done our cold market, it's adding every single day. It's going into joining interest groups, not other coaching groups. It's interest groups. So, for example, for Rebecca and Marcia, it would be running groups. For Rebecca and Marcia, it's Disney groups. For me, it is baseball moms. So it's like stuff like that that is out of the Beachbody umbrella. It's other interests. He suggested to do that. And then he talked very briefly about Facebook ads. And then obviously, which I told him, I said, we're all very consistent. We're doing the 4 vital behaviors. We're on that. And so he also asked if everybody was if we had more Facebook than Instagram or vice versa or both. So he also mentioned Instagram, which this part I thought was very interesting because I'm starting to dabble more in it. He said, use 30 hashtags. He said, don't use 4, don't use 5, don't use 10, use 30 hashtags. And I was like, what? But I was like, okay. But again, I need to take the time, whether it's like on a weekend when hopefully it's pouring out, or maybe I'll push it till it's a snow day. Let's not talk about that. And kind of really just concentrate on that. He said that we should like and comment on people's posts, tag other people. This is new for me. He said pay for shouts or shout for shouts. That I'm not familiar with. And if somebody is, maybe we can talk about that as another call. That's like brand new for me. But so it was.
Sorry, can I just tell you really quick? Remember you, Kirsten, and I, we had talked about it a little while ago, like tagging each other. It's like those roundabout things on Instagram. You'll see other companies do stuff like that. So like basically we could all go on there and be like, if you follow all of us, you probably don't want to do that with other people who are coaches, but that's kind of the shout out for a shout out. It kind of works
there's
like
that, but there's also pages where you pay them,
yes,
and they will promote a post for you, basically.
Right.
Like they'll put it on their page and shout you out.
Got it. Okay.
That costs money.
Right. If anybody's, maybe we'll do this like in a future call. If anybody is Instagram savvy, because I am so not, we can do maybe like a little tutorial or education on it, because that would be great. The other thing that I thought was really cool, and I'm actually starting to get into it more myself because I kind of think it's fun, is he was saying Instagram stories is huge. He said Snapchat is great because the filters are fun. He was like, but no, he's like Instagram stories. He's like, that is where people are just going to follow it. They're going to see it, and you're going to get more engagement that way. He says it's going to be over time, which we know. We know that what we did 3 months ago is going to pay off now, or what we did in the month of August is going to pay in like November. We know that there's a 3-month curve, 3 to 6 month curve on this. But that he definitely suggested. Let's see. The other thing, so it was like search for hashtags, follow conversations. Obviously what?
How much do we talk about Instagram stories?
Not much. The only thing that he said is that he had been avoiding it for himself because he thought Snapchat was more fun. And one of the top coaches had said to him, you know, you really need to get on Instagram stories. And he was like, whatever. And then he was in Miami a couple weeks ago, and another coach told him to get on it. And in where I think like there's a max of 250 on Snapchat, I think there's no max on Instagram stories. Or I think or maybe it's like 450 or some weird number that he had said.
I listened to a really long training, and I have been dabbling a lot into it. So I could do a thing on Instagram the next time you want to talk about it. But really quickly, for Instagram stories, if you have a business page, if you attach a business page to Instagram stories, you can do the analytics on your IG stories. So you can go in and literally see who's looked at your video and where they've swiped, so you'll know exactly what frame you were talking about and where you've lost interest. So say you have 20, 30 viewers looking at the first few panes, but then this about the fifth pane, all of a sudden you have 7. You can kind of narrow down that people aren't interested in because you can see with the swipeability of where you're losing interest. But I do use it quite frequently. So
no, that would be great. I would love for you to host a call to talk about it, because I'm definitely dabbling into it. My daughter just got into it, so I would love more about like even hashtags and that kind of stuff.
Samantha's welcome.
Yes, Samantha. Don't get me started on that. But no, I think that's a great idea. Maybe like not next week because we have the power hour, but maybe the week after. I think that would be an awesome team call. So I think that's great. So that was basically like what I brought to the table. And then there was 4 other people that were sitting there talking and bringing up their stories or asking him about various things. And someone brought up recruiting. Someone brought up, being uncomfortable about talking about the business or putting the business out there. And the thing that I found to be very, very interesting is that, like, when we think about the business and we think about what it's given us, like, hell, I'm done with my job as of January 31st. Like, I'm done corporate. I'm done being like having to get up. And, that's huge to me to be able to, as I stutter, to be able to be home and do this. But like the guy that was asking the question made a good point. It's like, it's hard to articulate that out in the public. And Josh was saying is in like, what's holding you back in your head? And like, when you think about it, what is it giving you? Rather than, you may not be making the salary that I would be making as if I'm working 9 to 5, but mentally and spiritually, I am at peace and I'm happy. Whereas I don't have to go to an office and deal with a douchebag, psychopathic boss. So there's like give and take. So it was the main thing that I got out of it for us and for me was just, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. But I think that, if we dabble more into Instagram, if we, share more of our stories and, articulate it a little bit better, and also be who we are. Like, we're not pretending to not be dorky and silly because when I'm doing this in Turbo Fire, I'm hitting myself in the face. Or I'm being raw and real to saying like, okay, I'm not a quitter, but I can't do Turbo anymore. And I love my husband, but it's not my love language. I can't. So, I mean, but I'm showing the public that this is me. This is who I am. Thank goodness I have Beachbody On Demand that I can go tomorrow morning and be like, what's going to make me sweat my butt off? So those kinds of things. And then the one thing that I wanted just to end with this part is, and this could be another topic maybe in September or October, is when we think of success, what does that look like to us? Because I can tell you what success looked like to me 2 years ago as to what success looks like now. And it's ever evolving. So I think like that's something that is really important for us to think about because it's not all about the fitness. It's not always all about the nutrition. There's more to it. And I think that it's so huge that we share our stories and how it's evolved us and made us who we are today because of it. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I got a lot of stuff out of it. And as I go, because this training actually starts in September. So as I go and I get more information, I'll definitely share it with all of you as we're going, because I think like once you start building your teams more and you start leading more, I think it's important to share the things that I'm getting out of it if I would do it with just Rebecca and Allie. But that's basically it. So with that said, let's talk about August Cup. How do we feel about the month? Kristen O'Brien, because you're to my top of my screen, go for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to make any excuses, but it was a terrible, terrible month. We came up with a big fat goose egg, and I know that, our team captain is like, don't give up till the fat lady sings. And I've got some people that I'm talking to, but I'm not going to get them by the end of the month. And honestly, I haven't been able to give it 100%. I mean, we had vacation, and I am in a seriously high stress job, and I'm taking my boss's position for 2 weeks. And we have like a whole refugee problem right now at work that we have to deal with because I work for immigration, and I really haven't had any time to give to it, honestly. Like I'm not making any excuses. I just have not had the time to give it 100%. I haven't said that to my team captain, but the 2 calls that I missed, she wasn't really impressed that I missed it. But I mean, I also have to think about my job because I'm not ready yet to leave it. I'm not in a position where I can leave my job. So I have to perform.
No, and honestly, I respect that. And, we all have priorities, whether it's our 9 to 5s or our families. And, sometimes we can put more effort into it than others. And I respect that you acknowledge it And there's nothing wrong with it. It happens. And plus, I find that the month of August blows, period. But
It does. This is our first August, but I do believe it blows. It really does blow.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward more to September because, like I said, I have some people that I am talking to, and I do believe that they're gonna be one Shakeology customer and a couple of challenge packs. So at least that's a positive.
You planted your seeds.
Yes.
Love it. Okay, O'Brien, what do you got?
Well, yeah, pretty much the same thing as Chris. For me, it's just a simple matter of I need to, I guess, reevaluate how I communicate with prospects, that type of thing. Because it's like I need to like kind of dial down the energy, I believe, because like when I talk to people and they ask me like, okay, like they ask me about it, like I'm just so supercharged because I know what it can do. Like I know what it's done for me. I know what it's capable of, and I have to kind of like to sort of, dial that aspect down, maybe give out less and switch it back over to the down. Right? That's my issue, right? Because I'm just like, I'm like, oh my God, like, like this thing has totally changed my life and la 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 la, right? So there's that aspect that I'm working on to sort of dial that back down. I've had some, I've talked to some people. It's just, I've talked to some people. I get to a point where it's like I'm just having a problem closing it, right? So I'm getting a lot of, okay, well, let me think about it, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm doing the follow-ups. Like I give them like 48 hours or whatever, and then I just sort of swing back and I do the follow-ups. I'll say like, hey, just checking on you, if there's any more information you need, about whatever it is, like the Shakeology, the challenge pack, let me know. I'm here, that type of deal, and then it's just, I don't know. It's just like I'm getting back a lot of either it's like, yeah, sure, no problem, I'll let you know. And then I give it another 48 hours, I'm following up again. And it just gets to a point where I feel like, okay, this person is just strictly on the fence, right? Either that or they're just don't know, they don't want to commit, but they don't know how to tell me, right? That type of thing, for whatever that reason is, right? So at that point, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I leave it in their court and I just say, well, you know what? I'm always here. You can reach out to me. I'm not going anywhere. If this is not the right time for you, whether it's budget, completely understand, right? There's always next time, and I'm going to be here doing my thing. So, that's how I just leave it at that. So I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if I'm spending too much time trying to figure out what it is that I'm not converting 100%, and maybe I should focus less on that and then just sort of trying to find the individual who truly needs it, who's truly wanting like the help to change their life, and then find that person. Like I don't know. It's like weird.
Kirsten, you look like you wanted to say something.
I'm a lot in the same place. Like, it's like you can only lead the willing. So if they're not like beating a dead horse, if they're not ready, they're not ready. And I struggle with that too, because I'm like, this person would be so great in the group, and I know that this would help them, and yada, yada, yada. But if they're not in a place to hear it, like, it's like you just have to wait till they're ready. And I deal with that same issue. It's hard.
The one thing that I was going to suggest, and I'm trying to do it more myself, is when I'm forming with these people, try to figure out what their needs are. So like, for example, I have this one woman who is a grandmother, a mom. She is, her health has deteriorated. She's gained some weight. She's going through menopause, so she's gained even more weight. She's still a smoker, and she wants to get healthy. And, it's either the price issue or it's the time issue. And I turn it or try. I use different terminology, because before I'd be like, well, you get like, I'll spill my guts, like just be like, here, you get this huge, like too much, because I know, like you, O'Brien, like I know what it can give them. But instead, I turn around to her and I say, well, what is your health worth for your grandchildren? Like, you want to be here for your grandchildren. What does that mean to you? You want to get healthy and you're going through menopause, so you're dealing with that stress. Well, do you want a group that's going to help you, keep you accountable for it, but help you through that phase of your life? Like, what does that mean?
But if they're not in a place to hear it and actually do something about it, like everybody wants to change, everybody wants to feel better, and everybody wants to lose the weight, but are they willing to do what it takes to do it? That's on them, and you can't convince them of that.
Correct.
Like,
Exactly.
you can ask the questions, you can spill, like, breadcrumb the information like we're taught and all that stuff, but if they're not in that place, it's not going to do any good. So all you can do is just keep checking in, but pressuring them is not going to get you anywhere.
Exactly. Right. And that's the hard lesson that I've learned. So I've been kind of turning it back on them, because that's exactly what Samantha did to me. And it took me 2 years to figure that out. So I kind of flip it. But no, that you've hit the nail on the head with that, Kirsten. I think you're 100% right.
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. So I guess what it is, it's also like to say that, even when you detect that aspect of them that they're not ready, right? It's it's almost to the part where it's like, okay, don't take it personal, right? And that's my big thing. Like, to say that, how could you not want to do this, right? But okay, fine, you're not ready. Okay, cool. But then, X amount of time goes by and you see that they've done the direct opposite, right? That's that's not good for them, whether that they went and bought an equipment or they got a gym membership. I had one fella who liked it. Well, I talked to him, close friend, and then, I need to talk to my wife. Cool, obviously. And then bam, I find out later on where he's tried T25 with a friend at work. So now they're doing it at work. And I'm like, I talked to you 3 weeks about that, right? So it's like, a buddy of yours at work shows you T25 and you're on board, right? But it's like, when I talked to you about it like 3 weeks ago, it's like, well, the brakes were on. So it's like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, I got to fortify myself against that, to say that people are going to make their own choices. Just because they chose to do something else doesn't mean what I'm doing is wrong. And that's the same thing I need to ingrain in my brain, right? Don't take it personally. That's their choice. C'est la vie, and kind of just, okay, move forward.
Yep, you've hit the nail on the head. And it's a hard lesson, because I know that we've all done it at one time or another.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now on to Kirsten. August, or is she frozen? Are you there?
I'm here. Sorry.
Marcia, do you want to go until she pops in?
We lose her.
I think so.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
we
Oh,
lost her.
there she went. Okay, so my August, I got nothing as far as points. However, I am pretty proud of what I've accomplished because I have made a point to find time as much as I can to prioritize my business. I had back to school for my daughter. I started a new job. It's been like a heck of a month. I've had a lot of stuff going on in my own life. However, I've tried really harder than I normally would, I guess is where I'm going with this, to make sure that I make time for my business. It's not that I'm like power houring every day or anything like that. I'm not, but I'm posting every day. For me, that is not something I've been consistent with. I've started Instagram stories. I'm posting those every day. That is not something I've done before. With the exception of about 3 of the days, I have been consistent with my connecting list, following up every other day, connecting, following up, connecting, following up. From the Haley Christensen call. So even though I have not accumulated any Success Club points, I'm super proud of what I have done this month.
Yay! Awesome. Okay, so we'll go back to you, Kirsten. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yep.
All right. So to me, Team Cup is just an opportunity to like get really consistent and talk to more people. And so that's what I've been focusing on, is just talking to a bunch of people. And so I'm building some nice relationships, getting to know people. I'm not pushing the inviting, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's what I feel good doing right now. I like to get all wound up in that stuff because for me, that's not what it's about. So, yeah, I've been super consistent, been talking to a lot of people, and I'm really proud of myself.
Awesome.
So,
good. Miss Rebecca.
Gotta unmute. There we go. Okay. Kind of in the same boat. I was away last week for vacation, so not a heck of a lot got done then, but I'm very relaxed and I'm getting back to a good place now. So I started talking to people again and following up, and I am trying to reach out to more people that I haven't talked to and get those conversations going. I have a couple of people that I've been talking with that some of it's a financial thing, so I'm kind of still talking to them and forming more and keeping them in my eyesights as I go along, and just trying to work around stuff like that. And now that the kids are going to be going back to school, trying to figure out, trying to figure out some other things that I can kind of do to network and get things going while they're away.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Miss Katie, can you hear us? Are you there, Katie? Hello?
I'm here.
Okay. You've had a crazy month, but
And it's about to get crazier. So I've been in last 2.5 weeks, I was in Baton Rouge, which was 2 hours from my house. And then now I'm in Arkansas, which is 6 hours away from my house. And I've been living in a hotel life. But so have not been as consistent as I had planned to be. And my hopes were high going into this. It didn't happen the way I wanted to. So, I mean, I'm still sort of getting in my inbox. I haven't been like connecting with new people because I work 12 or more hour days every single day except one. So it's very, very hard. It's very, very tiring. but I'm managing to function. I'm managing to keep my shit together, and I'm managing to keep my cool and still drinking my shakes and still working out. Unless it was like an extreme day, then I don't work out. But I'm still keeping the flow as KDT.
I love it. I actually want everybody to unmute with this because we don't have to keep ourselves muted. And whoever wants to go, go. But actually, I'll talk about me real quick. Me. So September, I'm the same way with the girls. Just really making it a point to stay consistent. I had high goals of certain numbers to reach as far as connecting and forming and adding to my network. Started out very, very strong this month. This month, we're still in August. Gotten a little lax, crazy family stuff going on personally. So haven't been pushing as hard as I was earlier in the month. But I feel like I'm going to get back to on track come September, especially since school's starting as for me as well on Tuesday. Yay! Rebecca and I aren't excited. But with that said, okay, so one of the things that Josh was also talking about was goals. And I actually did this. I was a part of another group at the beginning of August where, and I think this might be important for all of you if you want to do it, is I wrote myself a letter for the month of August and of what my goals are, some crazy, some attainable goals that I wanted to accomplish in the month of August. Whether it was my workouts, consistency, whatever it was, I wrote myself a note, and it's actually on the side of my refrigerator, and I can't open it technically till tomorrow or September 1st. But if you'd like, share now just one or two things that you want to reach in the month or what you picture for the month of September. Whether you want to share your challenge groups, whether it's fitness related for yourself, business related, whatever your goals are in your head of what you want to do in the month of September, share, and whoever wants to go first, go. Anybody? Okay, Marsha.
As long as I keep my sanity, good.
All right. We're going to keep you sane, Katie.
And I don't even have my schedule. This is how crazy this is. I don't even have my schedule. I should have one day off. So hopefully that one day, I'll be in the hotel, so I won't have to travel. That one day I'll be able to plan. And then after that, I can get back to my normal coach routine.
I love it. Okay. Who's next? Oh, come on. Marsha.
I'll go. Mine's a little one, but I've really been bad. I love reading. I've always loved reading. I've really been bad about reading. I listen in my car all the time to audio stuff, but I've been bad about picking up my book and opening it. So I'm going to read every single day for 15 minutes. Read a book or on my Kindle. Read.
Okay. Kirsten?
I would really like to up the views of my Instagram stories. My big focus. Not sure how exactly, but I'm going to grow that part of my Instagram.
I love it. Rebecca?
I want to get a little more focused on my Facebook page about posting other things besides just the fitness. I want to get more into posting more about my life or other parts of things to kind of vary it and try to get a little more audience coming in.
I like that plan. Kristen O'Brien.
Trying to tweak that. And we were talking last night about plans for our business page. So, we have a business page, but it really isn't moving. So we need to figure out how to stimulate more activity on it. And so we're really going to put a big effort in the month of September to step up the business page.
I have a suggestion, and
Yeah.
Kirsten and I do this for each other all the time. Add us all, and we'll like stuff and comment on it, and it'll boost it in your posts.
Okay.
Okay.
We should all be
Yeah,
we
I'll do
should
the
all
same.
be like doing that for each other. But yeah, if you add us on your page or like post it in the group or something, we'll all get on your page, because that
Okay.
helps. The more people that are liking and commenting, it just boosts it further up. So then your people will start seeing it. So even if it's us liking and commenting, it starts pushing it up in the ratings because people are
Okay.
putting eyes on it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
For me personally, I want to, I guess you can say, level up my posts on both Instagram and also Facebook to generate more engagement. That's my main thing. I think, like, it was said in Summit, like, likes are, well, the value in a like is not really anything, right? Which is true, because at first it was like, yeah, okay, like people are liking the post, but what does that really mean? So for me, I want to get back to getting engagement on my posts on both social media platforms. Chris mentioned about our business page. I would like to get organic, more organic reach out versus paid ads. Paid ads are okay. We have increased our ads up to like 200 likes. 200 followers, I should say, on our business page. But it's like, I don't know. I just feel if you can master the organic reach, then to me, that's the golden egg, right? So that's what it is for me on the social media side. And I want to start actually engaging more with FaceTime with individuals. It's kind of difficult for me because in my work, it's small, right? So I don't work at a big office, government building or anything like that. So it's a small like office environment. So I need to find a way to, I don't know, even if it's just bumping into people when I'm on my walk at lunchtime. That's my thing. More engagement FaceTime, and also more engagement on social media platforms.
And the other thing that I think that Josh suggested, and I think when I'm looking at all of you on this call, I think a good suggestion is that everybody needs to share more of their story. Like share
Yes.
bits and pieces of their story, whether
Yeah.
it's a live video once a week, just a little snippet of your story. I know Kirsten does that a lot about her shyness and, dealing with uncomfortable situations and events. I do it about my anxiety. Marcia does it about her anxiety. So does Rebecca. But I mean, like, more in depth about, who you are and why you became who you are to make you who you are now, so to speak. I think that's huge. Just a suggestion, because I have to do that myself as well. I think for me in the month of September, I think what I really need to do with the crap that's going on around me, I need to really hone in of like a schedule. Now since we're getting back to school, like I need a schedule to say, obviously I know this is at 8:30 on a Wednesday, but I need to know, okay, honey, I'm going to allocate from 6:30 to 8 family, from 8 to 10 I'm downstairs and I'm working, whatever it may be. Like I need to dedicate that to myself. I need to also dedicate to practicing quarter de force and getting my tush into a gym, and getting my don't look at me like that, get myself really started so that I can get this ball rolling, so that come February I'm teaching. But and then like Marcia, which I'm not a big reader, is that I need to get back to reading, because it really, like, it's very funny because it definitely helps and also gives you something to talk about. But I think that you all have wonderful ideas, and I think it's great. The other thing that I'd love to hear is what groups are we running in the month of September? I am doing a 5-day free get your home organized group. After I go to Rebecca's house and organize her house. No.
I was gonna say, I need that group. I'm so disorganized.
And then I'm also doing a Set Yourself Up for Success in September. A lot of S's. 21-day accountability group. So I know, Marsha, you and Kirsten are starting a new group on Monday.
We're actually starting 2 new groups. In our free group, we're starting what we've called Streak Week, where we're going to give people options of 5 workouts. They can choose cardio, push-ups, planking, I don't remember, it's arms, and I think squats. 5 different things, and we're going to give them a plan for 7 days. They have to do the same. They choose one. They could choose whichever one they want, and we'll give them a plan for each one, and they're to do that workout for 7 days. So that's our free group that we're doing. Just try and get people started with working out. We had a really successful one last week that Kirsten put together.
Our most successful one ever.
Yeah, we had people participate. Woo!
Good job, guys.
So we're just trying to keep the momentum going. We keep all of our free groups in the same group, which really helps us because the people who have interacted are still there and they keep seeing it. And some of them have signed up as customers at some point, in which case we move them into our community page, which is for any of our paid customers, but they still can remain in the wellness group. And we find that they're a lot of the ones that comment and like things as we go along. So it really helps us with some engagement. So, and then in our paid group, our community group, we're going to be doing, starting on Monday, also a 21-day group that Kirsten put together, 3 weeks of workouts. We're going to do week 1, a week of 21-day fix, week 2, a week of Tour de Force, and week 3, Sean week. So just trying to keep things. Kirsten and I both been doing Shoot Shop for 6 weeks. So we're like, love Downing, but we're like, enough with the same program. Enough. So, although I will say, everybody get in at least 1 day of a week of hard labor because Carl is making donations to hurricane relief. So if you work out any day between Tuesday and Saturday of next week to any one of the week of hard labor, Carl is making donations. So
Sweet.
Try to do one if you can.
What about you, Rebecca?
I don't know yet.
Are you joining me?
I think, well, obviously I cannot help with the organizing one because I am not organized, but I will definitely be participating. But yes, I think I might be jumping in with you for the success one.
Okay.
And see if we can get a little bit more people talking.
Okay.
Again.
Awesome. Because I think Allie's doing it too. So we'll have the 3 of us will coach it, and this will be a good practicing thing for her as well. And what about you guys, Chris and O'Brien? September groups?
I think I'm going to probably let O'Brien lead on this one because usually I lead on them. And I think we should be doing the hard labor because that's more his style. And I'd like to do like a 5-day, because apparently there's a really good 5-day copy paste the whole gamut we have for a 5-day free group of hard labor, and then shift them right into something probably like a 3-week after that. I haven't really thought about it because I'll use a 1-week break, then a prep week, and then right into the challenge group at the end of the month.
Awesome. Sounds
but
good.
I think I'd really like to do the 5-day hard labor, but I'm going to let him take control of this time.
Got it. Katie.
Okay, what am I talking about?
We're talking about challenge groups. Are you doing anything in September?
I don't have. Sorry, my mom called me, and I haven't talked to her all day. So I don't have plans yet. Mainly because I just haven't sat down and planned anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna figure something out. Probably the last week of the month. The 25th.
Okay.
I'll start it.
Cool. All right, awesome. Is there anything else that anybody wants to bring up, shout out, struggling with, happy with, besides Katie and Chris ready to pass out at any moment? But real
I'm
quick, anybody?
sorry.
No, honey, it's totally cool. I was making fun. Does anybody have any thing that they want to shout out? Okay, so I'm going to stop recording. Thank you. Nobody go away. I'm going to hit stop.